This is the TradeSite U.S. Stocks, Futures, and Forex Market Preview for the week beginning Sunday, April 9th, 2023. Happy Easter, ending Friday the 14th. Just so you know, here in the U.S. we had Friday off before the stock market was closed. Most of the rest of the world does their bank holiday and stock market holiday on Monday. So Monday's going to be fairly dead with everyone closed but us. So don't get too excited about Monday. Here's a look at the dollar index daily chart. As you can see, we've just been kind of drifting back down, still sitting where we were 3 months ago. Forex has been pretty unexciting lately. Here's the pound dollar. Obviously, pretty much the same thing, sitting where it was right before Christmas, near highs. The euro dollar, again, kind of the same thing. A couple months ago we were here, but near highs. Pound yen, dead flat for 8 months. Hasn't done a darn thing. All right, let's get to the stock market side. ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market in futures form. Also kind of dead in the middle. This is where we were back in August. Haven't changed. I'm literally inside the candle from the far left side of the chart. So, we've been higher, we've been lower, but we're still sitting where we were way back then. S&P cash, obviously about the same. A little bit higher, but that's pretty much the same chart, obviously, right? NASDAQ 100, also pretty much the same. We did have a 13 sell signal that has been violated already. And then we pulled back a little bit this week on our 4-day week. Here's a look at the Russell 2000. This is near lows. The small caps obviously affected more by what's going on with all the banks and the concerns there. Crude oil back to 80 after dipping down to 64. So it's back in where the range has been for the last, again, 6-8 months. Sounds familiar right now. On the other hand, you've got gold at highs. It's been on quite a run of late. And so we'll see what we get there. But that's obviously signs of still inflationary pressure and the Fed maybe being stuck on what to do with all this. Bitcoin back to 28,000, touched as high as 29,000 recently. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF at 3-month highs essentially. There would really be 5-month highs at that point, looking to potentially break out. There's probably a play there if it does. The VIX back down to 1840, no volatility. Market seems to not care at all about what's going on around the world. It's weird. By the way, let's talk about November on this chart. Back here, we're at the 13 buy signal, and then the risk line, we bounced off of it exactly, right? How strong that was. But we have a 9-bar setup now, startup phase to the downside on the VIX, but we don't have a count yet, so we'll keep an eye on that, obviously. Advanced decline ratio on the New York, fairly flat on Friday. The moving average is slightly positive over the last 10 days. The trend closed at a low number, but by the way, that 10-day moving average is down to 0.9. And at some point this week, I think we're going to drop off that big number up near 3, which could take us under the blue line, which is 0.85 on the 10-day moving average. And that would be a sell signal in the broad market. So it wouldn't be hard to get there from this point with a couple of low numbers and drop that big one off. So let's keep an eye on that. There's actually 2 big ones about to come off. So remember, under 0.85 is usually a sell signal on the broad market. The ES front month futures contract, intra-week action. Remember, it's a 4-day week, not a 5-day. So you almost have to slide the chart so you can go, okay, here's the far left is the week ago Friday. So Monday, we kind of opened flat, wiggled both ways, closed a little bit higher. Tuesday, opened flat, wiggled, came back down. Now you're even for the week, basically, at the close. Wednesday, a little gap down, never filled it. Closed a little bit lower, not very exciting. Thursday, a little gap down, filled both gaps. And at the end of the day, we basically closed right where we closed the prior week. Remember, it was a short week. So it's not very exciting. NASDAQ 100, also about the same. So closed about where it was. A little bit under from the prior week's close, but just not a lot of action. This has just been really, for what's going on in the world, for what's going on with the banks, you would expect there would be more action here in the market. So we're just not seeing it. So it's interesting. Let's look at some of these. Apple pulled back a little bit the last couple days. Closed down slightly for the week. Same story with Amazon. Meta, on the other hand, basically closing at highs for the last 8 months. Google also making a nice move, closing at highs, broke out a little bit here. Goldman Sachs, not much of a week, pretty dead flat, dead middle of the range for the last 8 months. Netflix, not much here either. Tesla pulled back a little bit, and then Nvidia closing your highs, and we did have a 13 sell signal there, obviously. And then Zoom is dead in the middle of the range. Very uneventful couple of months resume. So, that's it on the market. I would like to say there's something exciting, but there's just not. I mean, we're waiting for something exciting to happen, obviously. You would think there would be something happening based on what's going on in the world. Let's remember, so we got bank holidays around the world on Monday. Here in the U.S., no economic data really. So Tuesday is really going to be the major start of the week. No U.S. data that matters here. Got a couple Fed members speaking. You got the Japanese PPI Tuesday night going into Wednesday. We have our CPI Wednesday, so we'll be half size with Forex. By the way, there's no Forex call Sunday night just because of all the rest of the banks being closed. There's no point. But then Tuesday night going to Wednesday will be half size because of the CPI number coming out Wednesday morning. Canada's got their rate announcement at 10 a.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. We've got the crude oil inventories number here in the U.S., the 10-year bond auction at 1. Minutes from the last Fed meeting come out at 2. We've got Australia's got their unemployment rate going overnight. Thursday here in the U.S., the PPI, the weekly initial and continuing jobless claims numbers, natty gas, nothing too exciting there. And then Friday, import-export prices, capacity utilization, industrial production, preliminary University of Michigan sentiment, and business inventories to wrap up the week. So nothing super exciting, but there is some data there. Again, Monday probably not going to be very interesting with the rest of the world closed, so I wouldn't get too hyped up about that, and we're definitely not making Forex calls for that. Charts, as usual, brought to you by NinjaTrader. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We'll help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week.